Mhm.
Telekinesis, how can I do that? Because I can't. I just want to just
Mm,
grab a remote control from the other side of the room. Is that possible?
okay.
Have you seen it?
Absolutely, it's possible. Yeah, I've seen it.
Mm.
So, mm. All right. So there's a few different ways of performing telekinesis. One of them is emotional charge, which I personally wouldn't particularly advocate as the best way because it's inconsistent. The best way I've personally found to any type of the kinesis, whether that's hydrokinesis, electrokinesis, it starts with this true sense of recognition that everything really is energy. And that might sound so simple, but let me just elaborate a little bit. If I'm doing this in front of the face here on the camera, there can be a perception that this air is empty. It's not empty. We can think, oh, there's nothing in here. It's just air. Oh, no, no, no. There is. You've got the atoms, you've got the molecules, you've got the subatomic particles, you've got you've got the DNA, you've got the string theory within all that. You've got everything from the vibrational aspects. Now, as humans, we're made up of all of that. We're not solid, although we're perceived to be solid. If I do this, I'm tapping my shoulder, I can feel myself, you know. But what's actually happening is all that energy is just vibrating together at such a pace, so densely drawn in that it seems to be solid. Crystals are the same, rocks are the same, tables, chairs, bikes, doesn't matter what it is. When we want to move something in that way, first we've practiced breathing and just observing. We practice recognizing that we are all connected. Everything is electrical. We're electrical beings before we're biochemical. Everything's electrical. And that whatever it is has that energy too. Now, if we can feel truly part of whatever that thing is, it will move if we move it. It's just like, do you think, like when you want to raise your hand, like I didn't go, I'm going to really think about moving my hand. Oh, now I'm moving it for that. I'm just doing it. It's like everything is a part of you. When it's a part of you, it will move. It will take practice. There's a lot of illusion, linear perception and illusion around
Yeah.
things moving like that, but everything is a part of you. So we can move things.
Remote viewing, for one thing, is
Oh
the
yeah.
CIA have been doing that since the 70s, probably before then, actually.
Oh,
I think
so
it's
so
fantastic.
these are
Yeah.
great topics because really,
Mm.
like, they all kind of seem all sci-fi and stuff, but actually
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
very real. They're
yeah.
very normal in some ways. Like
Yeah.
I have a wonderful friend in Canada, and she has a Facebook group. She's just changed the name of it recently, but it used to be called Seeing Blindfolded, and it's like, practicing real-time viewing with a blindfold on. Real time. You can read a book. You can, because we're not seeing with our eyes. They're tools. They're chalices. But
Yeah.
that's not actually how. We don't need them to see. But it's similar, like you were just saying, teleportation, telekinesis, telepathy. All these things are simply frequency, they're vibration, shape shifting. We can do all these things, and it's so funny because I was having this conversation before I came on this interview with someone as well about these particular gifts or abilities, which are, once again, they're really natural to just be able to do, but we have to feel the resonance of it. We have to feel it at some point, either through seeing someone do it or enough meditation. But just being in a room with someone that can do that, is going to activate. Science calls it quantum entanglement, right? But it's going to activate on their level that remembrance. It's very, very, very doable, and
Got
just
another
takes a little
question.
practice.
Another question. What's dark matter? Because they spent billions building CERN, that kind of
Mm.
hadron collider thing. It'd be nice to someone to actually tell me
Dark
for free.
matter. Like antimatter, is that what you're thinking? Do you mean so I don't know what the scientists are saying it is.
I
I'm
don't
not
think anyone knows. That's the point. They've
what it
kind of,
what it feels like to me is the center of a universe forming. Like when you say what is dark matter and I feel into it, it feels like a black hole. Now, many people think that a black hole is a lot of pressure and empty. I don't think that at all. I think it is a portal. I think that it is a gateway. I feel like it is It's the point, it's the beat of the bang, you know? And I feel like that could be one explanation for what dark matter is, or antimatter. It's pure consciousness, mind before it became matter, is how I receive it from your question just there. I don't know what anyone else is saying, but
I've just thought something actually. It could be like a kind of, because it's invisible and it runs through the whole. Apparently it's everywhere and it runs through Earth. It's like kind of meshing for sort of a matrix type system, you know, made up of energy. That's what I think potentially. I don't know. I think we should sell our ideas to.
I think so too. Let's do it.
10 million, 10 million per idea. Great.
But you know, isn't this what string theory is based off as well? You know, this is kind of like,
so that's reality, I think, isn't it? That kind of
the
way dimensions work.
The way dimensions kind of work and interweave, but that's the point of what the star beings say a lot of the time. You know, is we get so hung up on this linear aspect of time. You know, past lives being in the past, or like you know, a different dimensional version of you. But actually, and do you remember before we had all these fancy LED lights and everything, but do you remember when you know, maybe just like a normal halogen light bulb, and or even like an old TV, the old box TV that used to get static, and oh yeah, have you? And you know, and if you moved your eyes quick enough, you could even maybe kind of see, it was almost as though the TV was glitching, or it was almost as though like you could see that it wasn't just always on, you know, you could see the frames.
Flashes.
Yeah, this is kind of what it feels like for me, is that, you know, we are moving at such a pace that we can't perceive it.
Yeah.
But so is every other dimensional aspect of us. So this is when people start to create those manifestations, or start to really magnetize in, or become an aspect of themselves, or the higher self, whatever we want to call it. When we're embodying such a thing, we're shifting our frequency to be able to match the vibrational, you know, the vibration match, really. So it's like a light, even LEDs, they're just going so fast that it seems to be one continuous stream of light. Like it seems like this computer screen, you know, where we're looking, it's just one continuous stream, but it's actually lots and lots and lots and lots of frames in between, right? It's just it's fascinating to me as well. So this is a really fun conversation. So yeah.
What about Ghost?
Ghost? Yeah. What, the film?
Ghost. Well, and the film, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, what about them?
A lot of films. A lot of films are reality in my eyes, anyway. Even Star Wars. Hopefully not while I'm in. Hopefully not my timeline, anyway. But yeah, Ghosts. They're like kind of on a different frequency, I suppose. And that's you can't. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't.
So
depends what's going on.
I've quite an interesting, maybe slightly, you know, unconventional interpretation of what we call ghosts. So. And this is how the Arcturians have explained it to me as well. So I'm going to just share what they've shared with me before, is that every thought, or every stream of thoughts that we have, they're non-physical, right? They're non-physical, and we become whatever we think about, really. Now, we know that within the depth of who we are, like all of who we are is bigger than this personality, right? All of who we are is bigger than this personality. We're source energy, we're higher self, we're all of that. We're pure love, living love, right? Now, that's who I see when people leave their form. What people call ghosts, I see as an imprint, personally. I see as an energetical imprint, a collection of those thoughts. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it's thoughts like everything that makes the personality. I mean, there are some even that believe that the personality is actually an accumulation of the things that we've done to make ourselves safe from, as we started at the beginning, the traumas that we experience, the distresses, emotional distresses that we have, and they form our character and our pursuits because we make a protection around it. So when it comes to ghosts, I kind of actually feel that the level that people connect on is the level that they're wanting to tune in on. And a lot of us connect in with the thoughts or the personality of them, which is essentially an imprint of thought.
Yeah.
You know, I usually, when I connect with beings that have transitioned, humans that have transitioned, I'm connecting in more with their heart self, their higher self. I'm bringing through whatever it is that is going to be of benefit and of highest good, rather than when some psychics tune into other things as well. But there's a place for everything, and different medicines for different things, right? Different remedies for different things. So there's always a place for every aspect of that. But yeah, I don't know if that was a massive tangent, but it's just, these are really fun questions.
That's good. And it's good to hear other people's points of view.
Yeah.
No one's right or wrong, I don't think. And it's nice, actually, we're talking about science and quantum physics or whatever. You've got science, religion, then you've got kind of, which is religion technically, the more sort of spiritual side of things. It's all coming together, and it's all going to, do you know what I mean? It's really cool. Because at some point, especially now AI is just on bloody overdrive, that's going to really start changing people's, whoa, okay, it's going to work things out, I reckon, big things, like my dark matter, for example, somehow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's all maths. Cool? The world's built off maths,
And, I mean, there's talk, I've read a book, it's Michio Kaku, Future of Humanity. And there's talk, it's obviously theory, and he's a theoretical physicist, of like taking your consciousness and firing it with a laser to, I don't know, another galaxy with an avatar, robot avatar of some sort, so you can go on holiday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How cool is that? So that to me, just if that is possible, which I think it is, because when you're, there's tons of stories of near-death experiences from car crashes, looking down, and mediums do it every day. They come out of their body and stuff. That's just like so cool, isn't it? Because that's real proof.
We do it every night when we dream. We're all doing it already. Yeah, it's just learning how to hone and refine once again. Letting us be in control of our mind rather than the mind controlling us. And
you mentioned that you mentioned in the text message thing, just like phones and stuff. I think that's going to go away at some point. People are just going to be like, I've had enough. I'm seeing it happen. So pretty cool. Or they're going to
I think we need phones because we've forgotten telepathy.
Really.
That's all. The more we start to use telepathy, the less we'll use phones.
Oh, hang on. Anya's in Lidl. Yeah, okay, thanks.
There you go.
Fruit juice.
I was just going to say. Get the shopping list over to
We're going to be all day, and you're quite a busy lady, aren't you? So I'd like to ask about, you don't really follow anyone, you said that. But what's the best thing you've ever learned from someone, a book, or something you've been given that other people can get from, like, advice or something like that, or the best thing you've witnessed? It's free for all.
It's all a dream. It's all a dream.
Yeah.
I learn every single day of my life. Doesn't matter who it's from, really. It could be a stranger on the street. It could be someone passing me in the car. I really do learn from people in every single day. And sometimes it's potent, sometimes it's subtle. It depends what I need in those moments, I think, as well. But yeah, there's not a day goes by that there'll be something that just goes, huh.
I've had about 10 of them in the last hour from you.
Oh, thank you.
Lots to think about.
Thank you so much. Well, we call it forward from ourselves as well, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint, but really, I mean, everything will pass. If it's not feeling good, it's an illusion. If it's not feeling good, there is illusion at play, and just wait for it, ride it out. To heal the traumas, we have to feel it. So feel it to heal it, and know that it's all a dream, which means that you can make it a lucid dream if you want, and really create what you want. But you can do anything, and everyone is as valid in that experience and as worthy of being the hero of their own journey, because that's really what we're here to do, is go through that archetypal journey for our own universe. Yeah,
that'd be cool. That's like your first lesson when you set up your school of
I used to have
humanity.
visions. I used to have visions years ago of this, of that same thing of like, it was like an indigo school, or kind of, a school. It was so funny because I think it was probably around the time that like the X-Men were coming out, or I was first introduced to the X-Men. So I was like, oh, I've dreamt of this school.
It'd be nice to do that X-Men thing on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
Like the whole group working together, and it's no doubt helps with having chats with people like yourself, going to Knowlton, helping out Jackie with her group events.
Oh, Jackie's beautiful.
Especially that flipping room in Elmer's Court. There's so much energy in there. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's always a good do.
So there were actually people at that event that couldn't deal with that and had to go.
Oh yeah,
me and Tim stood in the middle of the room going, wow. I don't get, well, I don't anyway, he probably lives that all the time, but I don't get that level of energy, but I could deal with it. I was like, this is cool. You know, it's very powerful.
Recharging your batteries, so to speak.
Oh yeah, so that's quite dangerous actually as well, to some extent, if you're not used to that kind of stuff. So
yeah, if you're not grounding yourself afterwards, it can be absolutely
Well, I remember in the photo, the group photo, you had your shoes off in the middle of the winter. So
oh yeah, I know. I was in the middle of a barefoot challenge though as well. I set myself a barefoot. I set myself a 30-day barefoot challenge. I have a few like 30-day series on like YouTube and Facebook. They're just kind of, you know, to help people meditate or to you know, connect again. And was it like Boxing Day or New Year's Day? I was like, that was a great time to do a barefoot challenge because like people were just going through it. It seemed then. It was
That's
one of those peaks that we had.
Biggest views, I think, on your videos I've seen.
Oh yeah, it will be. Any barefoot video tends to get a lot of views. It's a good algorithmic.
And where can people find your stuff?
You can go to my website, aliceheath.com. You can go to my YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, which is Ascension to Love with Alice. And yeah, it's always wonderful to connect with everyone that feels drawn to exchanging on those videos and just watching and receiving. And I learned so much from the comments as well. There's some really beautiful things that are shared there. So
and you do answer all the comments, I've noticed that. So
I do go through and I as best as I can. It might get to a point where I won't be able to do that at some point, but I will always endeavor to.
I stopped after like the second 100th comment on Pam. So I'm gonna have an afternoon. I'm just gonna go through them all at some point. Oh God. See what I mean, she has like 5, 6, 7 times more people viewing on her actual channel. So imagine what that's like. Anyway, lovely to talk to you. Have a great afternoon, and I hope to see you soon.
Oh, Toby, it's so wonderful. Thank you. It's so wonderful to connect with you. Thank you so much for asking.
Brilliant. Cheers.